All right, I'm just keeping it real. I blew my count, which honestly, this one I'm not happy about. And I think the crazy thing is too, I really didn't think that this would happen again, right? So I know I blew my count last week, but that one was different. I took a payout, I had limited balance left. I took good trades, they lost, fine. Today, I just could not accept a loss for whatever reason. It was just not within me today to accept a loss. My analysis was fine. I thought I was fine in the trade. I did everything I wanted to. If we come back on replay and we look at what we were seeing, I was happy with this trade, right? You can see here we're bearish on the day, right? Or my bias is bearish. What happened was we had nice reverse hammer candle here off value area highs. We're struggling to get above, being rejected off high volume. Another one right here, perfect. Another one right here, not the highest of volumes. Low volume buying here as well. And if we play it out, right, another reverse pin here. So as soon as this happened and we start heading lower, that confirmed to me. But then of course it formed a hammer, right? So fine. I lost on this trade. I closed the trade, come back. Prior week value area high is here. Still a ripe opportunity to short. I decided to take another trade, right? So we're in short again, right? After mentally resetting, I mentally reset. I was completely fine. And then we took another loss, right? Because I'm like, I don't think we're gonna head higher above this level. We did, right? But then what happened after that? We rejected shortly after. And this is where I absolutely tilted. At this point here, I was like, I'm just gonna buy because we're obviously bullish. We're bullish. We're bullish. We're bullish. And one of the things that my intuition was just screaming at me, it was just screaming at me. I think we're still short, right? But at this point, I should have locked my account. I didn't lock my account, and instead, I decided to buy. And we head lower and lower, and I lose, 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 and it becomes death of a million paper cuts. Death by a thousand paper cuts, I think is the phrase, but I lost and 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 lost because I was going against the trend. I was going against my initial bias and I lost. And I blew my account. I couldn't accept that the market didn't act on my timing. I couldn't accept that the market didn't do what I wanted it to do when I wanted it to do it. And I lost. 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 And I blew the account and I lost. So it is very frustrating when something like this happens. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm glad that I locked out my other funded accounts today. It's something that I truly did not think that I would still be so prone to tilting. And it's so funny too. We were talking about it in the Discord as well. I was talking to, I think it was Dominic about it or Alex, I can't remember, but it's like we were literally one moment away from tilting. And it just so happened that today was my moment. So I don't like I don't like publicly showing this, but again, this is my journal. It's my public journal, right? I need to show this for myself because I will come back to these. I always come back to these videos and I watch them and I see how I was feeling at the time and I learn from my mistakes, right? Success is not just a straight line, like it's not just going in a straight line up and then you win, right? Instead, it's constant up and down. It's literally a roller coaster, but you hope that with the up and downs that you're constantly trending higher, right? I think we as traders, we understand that. So that's what I need to learn from about this day, right? This can be considered a dark day, or it could be considered a really good learning point that I can look back to and say, hey, like, you know what? Like, we just let it go, right? So what are some of the things I kind of want to make this a practical thing, right? Because I understand that this is my journal, but it's still public, right? So what are some of the practical things that we can learn from, right? Whenever we have moments like these. So before it even occurs, how are you feeling? What is something that's going on inside of you? I knew that I was feeling rushed. I've been feeling rushed for a while, right? That stems from work. I have a project that's due. We're creating a whole class for all of the patients that we're going to be doing like 2 times a week about chronic pain. And I still haven't finished it. I've done some of it, right? But I need to go back and revamp it and all of this other stuff. Work has been crazy. We've been very short staffed. On Friday, I was one of three PTs for the whole hospital. On Saturday, which I would normally work Saturdays, we're short staffed anyway. It was only two PTs. We had so many things to do on that day. So I already knew coming in to today's session, I felt rushed. I felt so rushed, right? There's some other things I needed to do. I mean, even the little things, such as like making sure that I set my fantasy football stuff for the draft with my grad school classmates. Even other things, such as like making sure that I'm ready for the giveaway, making sure my account is good for the giveaway, making sure that I'm ready to hand out the $50 to the winners. Even just like the public pressure of like posting your journey, posting your wins, posting your losses. Like that didn't really get to me, but I think it's just a culmination of all of these things affected me. So when I came into the market today, even though I knew what I was doing, and I was like, this is a really good trade, I believe it's a really good trade. And even after my second loss, I was like, well, it could still play out. I knew that I should lock my account right then and there, and I ignored it, right? So that's the first thing. How are we feeling when days like these happen? Obviously, what can we learn from it? But like, two, what is it that we can do to stop ourselves from crossing that boundary? I practice a lot of mindfulness. I meditate. To be honest, though, I haven't meditated in a while, so I need to go back to doing that a little bit more. But there's always this line that you can cross. It's a choice. I chose to do what I did today. I could have easily been like, you know what, I'm down after two losses, I'm down $600, which isn't too bad, right? It's actually pretty good. We avoided two full losses, and we just close our account. We look at how the trade played out. We learn from it, and we can say, oh, okay, next time if we're close to value area high, prior week value area high, and you want to go short, see if it rejects that level, and then you can go from there. I could have easily said that, but instead, no. I said I want to win today. I want to make sure that I win. I know I'm right. Look at all of these things that you're telling yourself. Look at that self-talk that you're having. And this is literally the reason why I lost. I wanted to win. I told myself that I was right. I'm competitive. I said that I am right. I'm going to be right. It's going to play out my way. This is all the things that my mind was saying. And look what happened, right? So I mean this all is a part of trading unprofessionally. I know I call myself trading stoically, but that is something that I am trying to attain. That is a mind state or flow state that I am trying to constantly be in. And I know that there are going to be days like this where I am just not there, right? So today I was not there. So what can we do in order for ourselves to stop it, right? I had my hand on the mouse today and I could have just been like, I'm locking my account. Just like how I locked my other funded accounts today. I locked them. But I could have done the same for the main one that I had, and I didn't. And I didn't, and it's unfortunate, right? What are some other things you can do? You can easily step away. You can step away from your computer. After I took my first loss, I stepped away. I was like, huh, I'm actually surprised that this lost, right? Which I was. I was very surprised when I lost. And the second time too, I was surprised. But my rule is after two trades you lose, you're done. And I was like, I'm not done. And I chose that. One of the patients I saw this weekend, they were a great married couple. I think he just had surgery. He has peripheral arterial disease or something. So they were basically just trying to unclog his arteries. And they had a great relationship. They had this really funny joke where um, he's basically hard of hearing. He's not that hard of hearing, but basically, like, uh, I don't know, like he says something, then his wife was like, well, she says something, she whispers it, right? And then he was like, huh, what'd you say, honey? You know, it was really funny. But anyway, they basically told me that marriage is a choice. I know this sounds so off topic, I swear it's not. But every day you choose to love someone, right? It's a choice. Every single day you wake up, you choose to love someone. It's the same thing with trading, not with the love part. But every day you choose if you want to be professional about your trading or not. Every single day you wake up, you choose if you want to follow your rules or not. It's literally on you. Of course, there are certain things that come up that can be a trigger, that can be an aspect as to why you tilted, an aspect as to why you blew your account. But it's literally on you. And today it was literally on me, right? And I accept full responsibility for me blowing my account today. It was my choice to continue trading after two losses. It was my choice to say I was right, the market was wrong, right? Even even if these were subconscious thoughts, that's literally what happened. And it was my choice to acknowledge these feelings and continue on and continue pressing rather than saying, let's stop today, Vic, right? So that's the second point. And the third point is, okay, well, what is something that we can do in order for myself to bounce back? A lot of times when we blow our accounts, this is for me personally, but I also believe that it applies to other people too, is that it's not necessarily that you were wrong about your analysis. You just wanted things to happen in a way that they didn't occur. And that's what happened to me. That's literally what I did. I wanted things to happen in a way that the market was just like, no, we're not doing that. And that's what happened. And there's nothing that I could do about that. There's nothing that I can do about that now after the fact, but we can always analyze and say, all right, this is how I felt at that time. What is something we can say to ourselves that allows us to fully accept that this has happened and move forward from it? Trading is a confidence game. You have to be confident, right? Even when you take losses, you got to be confident in what you're doing. For myself, I know that I analyzed this not perfectly, obviously, because I got stopped out twice, but I did what I was supposed to do, right? We saw the areas, we saw the levels, and then we saw that we were bearish and that we headed lower, and that's exactly what happened. So if I come back and start trading again tomorrow, why should I be afraid, right? Why should I be afraid that, oh, I don't know how to trade anymore just because I blew an account? Why should I be afraid that, oh, I'm going to take another loss? Like, that's part of the game. Losing is a part of the game. I lost today. I lost a whole account today. And yeah, it doesn't feel good, but I'm not going to allow this to deter me. I'm not going to allow this to say, oh, you're not a good trader, or oh, you don't know what you're doing. No, absolutely not. Right? Whether you've gotten a payout before in the past or you're seeking your first payout, you need to stick to your process. You have to be able to stick to your process and you have to say, this is how I trade. I will stick to my rules. I choose to trade professionally. And with that process, you will get to where you want to go. I promise you, you will. Right? Today, I wasn't feeling good coming in. I knew I wasn't feeling good coming in. I could tell, and I even told myself before I traded, I'm like, I need to take my time today. I feel rushed. I need to take my time. But then I threw all that stuff out the window. Right? I can promise you right now, this will not be the last time that this occurs. I know it won't. Right? But that doesn't mean that this is going to happen again tomorrow, because I promise you this will not happen tomorrow. And I am going to do the best that I can to stave this off, to not allow this to happen consecutively, and to not allow this to happen again, hopefully for months. This is the first time I've tilted in, I think, in about 2 months. The first time I've tilted in 2 months where I just traded unprofessionally. I just didn't do what I was set out to do. I didn't want to take the loss. I didn't want to accept what happened. I didn't want to accept that the move was happening without me, even though this is what I thought would happen. And it cost me. And it cost me today. So I'm disappointed. I think that's the perfect word to use. I am disappointed in myself, but I am not angry at myself. I am not fully upset. I don't feel good about it, right? I feel a little bit horrible, but at the same time, I understand that this is a part of the journey, right? So, yeah, I understand. I know, I'm sure I'm probably going to get some comments, you know, like, I love the comments that are like, do this, do that, do this, do that, It's like, yeah, I understand. And part of stoicism too is being able to look at things objectively, right? There's no such thing as an insult to a stoic, which sounds kind of wild, but there really isn't. And what I mean by that is that let's say that someone comes up to you and they say, like, let's say that you're fit, you're in shape, you're doing well, and someone comes up to you and they say, "Oh, you're fat." Some random person, right, comes up to you and says, "Oh, you're fat," or you weigh so much, right? And they say that to you as a stoic or as a practicing stoic, right? Because I'll never be a sage, but as a practicing stoic, you always have to look at those types of statements in an objective manner, unbiased. You have to take that statement for what it is. And if they're telling me that, even though I work out and I'm fit and whatever, whatever, they're telling me that I'm fat, I have to look at it and be like, am I really fat? Wait, I'm not. I work out, I eat well, I'm a good weight, my health is good. That's when you look at that person, you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about because I'm not fat. And you don't take it any type of way, right? And then if you were fat and someone comes up to you and tells you you're fat, that's when again, you do the same process. You ask yourself, like, am I really fat? I'm like, well, yeah, I don't eat well, I eat McDonald's every day. I'm not working out, but I'm trying to change it, right? Hopefully you're trying to change it. So it's like, yeah, actually, yeah, I am fat. Thank you. I'm trying to do the best I can to improve myself, right? And if you're not, you could be like, well, I am fat and I'm not doing anything about it. You're absolutely correct. I need to start changing my lifestyle, right? So that's kind of how we have to look at it as traders too, right? So if someone comes into the comment section or if someone tells you personally that, oh, you're not trading well, you need to do this, you need to do that, like you literally just need to look at it objectively. Just be like, well, I actually do need to do this, or oh no, I disagree with that because of this, but like you have to be unbiased about it, as unbiased as possible. And this is what I tell my friends all the time, just when it comes to life too, that you need to look at things in a very objective manner. And it's very difficult to do, especially with certain things, but you have to, right? So I do welcome all criticism. I welcome um, any critiques that you guys may have, anything that you want to tell me. I do welcome it, right? I'm not someone that I'm just gonna sit here and be defensive, right? I try anyway, but I'm also not perfect too, and I understand. I mean, clearly, look at me. I just blew a funded account off one day. That's insane. I should never be doing that. But I did, and it happens, and we're human. So, yeah, guys, I hope that, first of all, I hope that this helps me, right? And I think talking about it definitely does help me. But I also think, too, coming back into the future, I'm going to be able to listen to this and be like, yeah, that definitely did help. But I also hope, too, that if you guys are dealing with something similar as well, I hope that it does also help you in terms of the thought process, right? Behind the three steps, which is analyzing after the fact, and then also to trying to figure out what's going on as it's happening, and then also to the last step, which is hopefully that we're able to get to most of the time, which is preventing that from even occurring. Right? I hope that this video is able to help you, and that my mistake is able to help you too. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to improve. I'm always trying to get better, and I have to learn from my mistakes in order to do that. But I also learn from other people as well, and this is something that in my life, just as a whole, not even in trading, but just as a whole, that I've learned whenever I have a really bad day or whenever things aren't going my way, that I understand that this is how I have to look at it and this is how I have to tackle it. And that this isn't going to last forever either. Everything in life is temporary. You know, that funded account, it was temporary. At some point, it was going to be gone. Whether it's I stopped trading it for whatever reason, something happened to me, I stopped trading it, or I get a payout, 5 payouts, and I get called up to live, or whether it's blown. So at some point, it was going to be gone. It sucks that it happened this way, but it's inevitable, right? So we need to be able to move forward in our lives and improve ourselves and learn from our mistakes. That way, the next day we come in and we don't tilt. The next day we come in and we follow our rules. The next day we choose to follow the process that has gotten us to this point. Whether you're someone that you're still looking for your first payout, you're someone that's still trying to pass your first combine, or whether you're on your 15th payout and you're looking for more, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. Um, I hope you guys are trading a lot better than I am. That's for sure. And I definitely um would love to hear about how you guys are doing. Right? I love to do shout outs at the end of the week, so please let me know how you're doing. Hopefully you guys are doing really well. Hopefully you guys are trading well too. And I normally do say keep trading stoically. But for myself I need to say start trading stoically again. And hopefully for the rest of you guys, I hope you guys keep trading stoically. I'll see you guys in the next video.